What's up, folks? I don't know when I'm going to release this video. Might release it at midnight. Today is it's Wednesday. I'm making this video about 10:30 at night in my garage while I puff on a stogie. Nice calm night. I got my piece sitting in front of me, locked and loaded in case somebody want to run up to the garage and act a fool. But guys, you see the title of the video, right? I want to have a conversation about how I was able to survive my divorce, being a 50-year-old man, how I was able to recover from my divorce and still keep thriving in life. Getting divorced at the age of 50 and above, the new terminology for that now is called a gray divorce, right? Because you're over 50. They call it a gray divorce now. And I want to just tell you guys about why I was able to recover from that divorce, and why most men are not able to recover from a divorce at that age. My divorce was bitter. It was bitter. It was a lot of fighting over assets, things of that nature. Man, a lot of bugs in my garage, but well. There was a lot of fighting during the divorce. There was a lot of bitterness during the divorce. I was the one that filed for the divorce. I'm not going to touch on why at this point in time, but I am going to talk a little bit about the divorce because it's still my experience. Even though my ex-wife may not want me to share it, it's still my experience and what I went through. Most men can't recover at 50 and above. Most men don't recover from a divorce, guys. And we all know most divorces are initiated by the women. 80% of divorces are initiated by the women. And when a man has pretty much spent a lot of years with a woman and she decides to leave, a lot of men can't deal with it, especially when they're up in age, 50 and above. They can't deal with it, and they pretty much can't recover, and they give up on life. That may be the reason why I was able to recover, because I was the one who filed for the divorce. But also, a lot of men are wiped out financially also when they go through a divorce at an older age. Because most of the time, the man is making more money. There's kids involved. So he's get divorced past 50, and he has child support to pay. He's giving up, half of his 401k, half of his pension, any investments they may have, they have to split those up. And a lot of individuals be in debt, and they have to take on debt, pay the debt off. So a lot of times it wipes him out, and he's not able to recover. When I went through my divorce, we had to split a lot of assets. She got half of my 401k. She got a nice chunk of money out of my 401k. Guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. Whatever she could get half of, whatever she was entitled to, she got half of it, right? Like, I'm gonna give you an example. My Chevy Cruze, I think at the time it was valued at at $8,000. And since it was paid off, she wanted half of it. I had to give her $4,000 for the Chevy Cruze. I had my Camaro. I think my Camaro was valued at something like $24,000. So I had to pay her half of that value. So I had to pay her out $12,000 from the Camaro that I had because it was paid off. So my life insurance policy, I had to pay her out half of the cash value of my life insurance. I mean, she came after everything that she was entitled to. Everything. From my 401k, my Roth, the cars, the insurance, my profit sharing, whatever she was entitled to, she came after, guys. She came after it. And I was so fucking angry. So angry because of that. I mean, angry. Because a lot of my profit sharing and bonuses is what helped accelerate our life and accelerate our savings and things of that nature. So there was a lot of bitterness. I was mad. I was pissed off. That's why it got to the point I had to take time off work. I had to take a month off work because it was getting to me mentally. I was going to see my mental health therapist every other week at this time. But I was able to recover, guys, because once I bought my home, we sold our home. And then she was buying another home. I was buying another home. We closed on our home that morning and then closed on our home separately that afternoon. We did it all in one day. Set it up till we did it all in one day. And I was able to recover because I still had a great income. I still had my investments, even though they got I had to give up a nice chunk of it out of my Roth, out of my 401k. But I was still getting bonuses. I was still getting my profit sharing. And my divorce was final in 2023. So my 2022 profit sharing check had to give her half of that. But moving forward, I didn't have to give her any more payouts. Pretty stuffy out here with this cigar. But moving forward, I didn't have to give her any more of my profit sharing checks or anything like that. I just had to give her half of my 2022 check. And so I was able to recover financially really quick because I was still getting my bonuses. I was still getting my profit sharing. I was still getting, I was still making my great income. So, and with those bonuses and the profit sharing, it helped me accelerate, get back to my investing and saving really quickly. And a lot of guys just don't have that luxury when they go through a divorce, especially at my age of 50 and above. So I was able to get back on my feet pretty quickly. And then we had made a killing off the sale of our home, because we built our home in 2016 and we sold it in 2022. So we benefited from the rise in real estate prices and we made a killing. We built our home. When we sold our home, we owed like 190, right? And we sold it for just over 400,000. So we made a killing. So I walked away with a nice chunk of change. She walked away with a nice chunk of change. And like I said, I still have my 401k. I still have my Roth. And then once I filed for divorce, I opened up another brokerage account in August of 2022 because my lawyer informed me that once you file for your divorce, everything stops. So once I found that out, I was like, well, shit, I'm going to go open up me another brokerage account because my Roth was at Vanguard. So I said, okay, I'm going to go open up me a taxable brokerage account and start investing to it right now to get that going. because I knew she wouldn't have no claims to that because the divorce was already filed. So everything stopped then. Everything was frozen then. Neither me nor her would have any claims to anything after that. So so that's what I did. And that account, right, and that brokerage account is almost at $100,000 in 4 years, guys, because I've been hustling, saving my ass off, investing in it. But but I also, guys, when I got divorced, I didn't think, now I'm single, I'm finna bar hop, I'm finna date a lot of different women. I didn't go fucking crazy. I stayed on my grind. I moved into my home, kept working, I kept saving, I kept investing really heavily because I only had me to take care of, just me and my buddy Blaze. And so, I wasn't out here courting a whole lot of women, going to bars, going to clubs, trying to date a lot of different women. I maintained, my desires, my sexual desires. Wasn't out here just trying to slang penis here, slang penis there, dating this chick, dating that chick. That would have been costing me more money because doing that shit would have cost me more money. I said, no, I'm chilling. Then I had met um, my lady friend that I'm with now, and then we started, seeing each other, and she got her own job, own career, don't ask me for anything, so that was perfect. That was perfect situation, and but yeah, I just didn't go out here wilding out. I wasn't gonna be out here just trying to date a whole bunch of women, blowing my money, just being a grown up kid, just thinking, oh, I'm free now. I can just, I can just wild out. No, I kept my shit under control. I kept my life under control. Kept my sexual desires under control. Just wasn't out here wilding out with different women and shit. Because I had to like recover a lot of the money I lost during the divorce. I had to be on my grind and make that shit back. That was my whole purpose. You know what? I upped my 401k even more because it was just me. I'm able to max out my Roth every year just out of my profit sharing check, and then my main focus was on my newer brokerage account. My goal was to get that to 100,000 as fast as I can, and I got 20,000 more to go, and that account will be at 100,000. So at that time, I will have three accounts over 6 figures: my 401k, my Roth, and then my taxable brokerage account will all be over 100,000, 6 figures. Um, so, I mean, my 401k and my Roth are way over 6 figures. So, but but yeah, that's why I was able to recover, guys. But a lot of guys that go through a divorce after 50, like I said, they just kind of give up on life because it's like they so late in the game. Then they give up. A lot of times they give up so much damn money that they can't recover. I'm just lucky to be in the financial situation I'm in because I was able to recover and recover really quickly, you know. And like I said, there was a lot of bitterness on her part. There was a lot of bitterness on my part. Because she did not want the divorce. Like I said, the divorce was initiated by me. Um, I'll go into reasons why. I'm just not ready to go in depth into that just yet. But I was really pissed off because I felt like she was just trying to break me down to my knees, pretty much. That's what I felt like financially. I felt like she was just trying to break me down financially, break me down to my knees. And but I was able to recover. I mean, she got a nice chunk of money, but I was able to recover. Um, blessed to, have the job I have, the career that I have, and be able to get the bonuses and profit sharing shit because I was able to recover really quickly. Um, and most guys my age going through a divorce, they're not able to do that. They just not able to do that, to recover that quickly from a divorce. But I was able to. But I went through a lot of emotions though. Went through a lot of emotions. After the divorce is finalized, um, went through a lot of emotions like, did I make the right decision? Was it the right decision? Did I give up too quickly? Things of that nature. But like right now, as I sit here now, 3.5 years later, I know it was the right decision for me. It was the right decision for me because this is my life, and I'm the one that has to live my life, and I got to do what's best for Frank. And I feel like right now that was the best decision for me, uh, and I'm good now. I'm good now. I'm loving life. I'm enjoying life. Um, the same goals I had when I was married, retiring early, being able to retire early, all of that is still in play. All of that is still possible. I'm still going to be able to achieve all of those goals. Still going to be able to achieve all of those goals. But I think I was able, but mentally, like in the beginning, like that first 6 months, it was hard because my entire life has changed. I wasn't coming home to a wife, or my daughter. That's another thing. So my daughter was older, past 18. I didn't have to pay no child support or anything like that. Didn't have to pay any alimony. So all of that helped in my favor. So, but initially my world had changed because I was coming home. There was no wife at home. No, even though she traveled a lot for work, but still, my daughter wasn't home. Um, I was coming home just by myself, so that took some getting used to, because my world had changed. But hey, sitting here 3.5 years later, and it was the best decision for me. Because as men, man, I'm telling you, I was able, just me being a grown, mature adult, man, and not. I'm glad I just have my lady friend, and I'm only concerned about my lady friend, and I'm not out here trying to chase woman after woman after woman like I used to do back in my younger days, in my 30s and early 40s and shit. I'm glad I got that shit out of my system. Not out here burning money on women. I'm able to control my sexual desires. I'm able to control my third leg between my legs. I'm not out here chasing women and fucking up my money, blowing my money on bullshit, trying to wine and dine women and shit like that. I'm glad I got my head on right. I'm not out here chasing women that ain't about shit, that ain't got shit, just looking for a man to just provide for them. I got the perfect lady friend that don't ask me for anything. Don't ask me for nothing. Because if she was that type of person, no way we would have lasted this long, and we wouldn't have even got involved, because I'm not gonna be involved with somebody who's just looking for a man with some money. Just, you got the wrong guy for that. Got the wrong guy for that. But yeah, but that's why I was able to recover, guys. I was able to recover. Luckily for my job, and I was making the type of money I made, and I was able to recover quickly. Um, and I'm not bitter at her anymore. You know, she was everything she was entitled to. She got half of it. Um, I'm not pissed off about it anymore. I've recovered. I guess she did what any woman would have did, going through a divorce. She got half of what she was entitled to. So I'm not bitter anymore. We're cool to this day. You know, we got a daughter together, and her life is good. My life is good. But Yeah, but a lot of men don't recover from a divorce, man. A lot of men don't recover from a divorce. We was together 19 years, married 14, and a lot of men don't recover from a divorce. I'm just glad I was able to, and life is still good. Still able to um, live my life. Still live a great life without no regrets. You know. Shout out to you, Larry. No regrets. Yeah, but yeah, a lot of men getting divorced later in life. They just give up, man, because they spend so many years with a woman, and then the woman leaves them or whatnot, and they just can't recover. They just kind of give up on life. But I didn't give up on life. I knew I still had a lot of life to live, and I was gonna live it and still be successful, and do my thing, and do my thing. And I'm happy where I'm at right now in my life. Yeah. See, I just wanted to tell you guys that story. Just wanted to tell you guys about how I was able to survive my divorce so late in life. So I got therapy in the morning, so I'm going to work a little later. So that's why I didn't mind making this video as late as I did. So I don't have to I don't have to get up at 5 a.m. So guys, I appreciate all you guys who rock with me, who support the channel. You guys have a great day. Great day on Thursday. This is Frank, and I'm out of here.